Hi folks, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for clicking on the video as always. We are out for an overnighter at the Bushcraft camp. The setup for tonight is a little bit different and a little bit of an experiment as well. It's a variation of a tarp shelter setup I saw just a couple of days actually on another YouTube channel. I think the name is it Cusk Bushcraft? I think he's over in like North America somewhere. But a few months ago, as part of the Solanac stuff I also got sent a tarp, which I haven't used yet. So I decided to use it for this setup, and I'm quite pleased with how it's turned out actually. It didn't take too long to set up. Like I say, I already have the big tripod here already. So I just made some wooden pegs, pegged out the tarp, and just lifted the front and tied it onto the tripod. And there's a surprising amount of room inside, plenty of room for me to sleep, lengthways, room for the kind of dog behind me and my bag and other bits and pieces. In terms of weather, it's been quite an interesting couple of weeks with the end of autumn and the start of winter. It's been relatively cold, especially compared to last year. Quite a few mornings below zero and days staying below zero actually. We had a little bit of snow a couple of weeks ago, but sadly it was right in the middle of the week and I couldn't come out and enjoy it. But we've kind of been in this cycles of having quite cold temperatures in the week, and then by the time the weekend comes, a warm front comes in and there's been rain and wind. There's been storms. We had Storm Darach last weekend. It was below zero last night and things were a little bit crunchy still when I walked in this morning, but it's a lot milder now. It must be like 5 or 6 degrees. I think it's supposed to be about 12 degrees tomorrow. There's a lot of rain coming in tonight and tomorrow as well. There's weather warnings and things, so it's that same kind of cycle of really cold and really mild. So yeah, camp's all set up. I've got a little bit of firewood already that was at the camp, but I just had to process it quickly. So I'm gonna have a coffee and some lunch just now, and then I'll do the bulk of the firewood processing after that. But yeah, I'll get the fire going just now and get some water on to boil. What are you doing? What are you doing? Go. So that's all the firewood done. I think it's not going to get that cold tonight, so I think I've got more than plenty. 3:25 now, so we'll start losing light quite rapidly. By kind of 4 o'clock it's going to be proper dark. For dinner tonight, I've actually got some venison. I'm going to make up like a basic just venison potato stew. So I want to get that on early because it takes quite a while. I like to just like heat it slowly and leave it for a couple of hours at least. But what I'm going to do just now is I'm going to basically sear the venison in the frying pan, fry up a bit of onion too, just to get that extra flavour once I put it all in together in the main pot. For the rest of the stew, I've got one sweet potato and one white potato that I'm going to chop up. Got a couple of carrots as well, and then I'm just going to throw in like just a stock cube, and then just like a teaspoon of like gravy granules. It just helps to like thicken it all up. A bit of water, and then I'll just set it by the fire for a couple hours until later on this evening. Careful, it's hot. It's hot. Well, not really much to report, to be honest. It's 6:15. So still a long evening to go. The joys of camping in the middle of December in the north of Scotland. The stew's been on for, I suppose almost 2 hours now, I think. It's starting to look good. I'll probably leave it for another hour, I think. Right, let's give this a try. Oh, that's so good. Big chunk of bread. Oh, that was worth the wait. You know the drill by now. Oh. Right, I'm gonna call it a night there. I think it's 10 o'clock now. I'm gonna throw a couple more logs on the fire here just to keep it going so I can watch it for a while from my sleeping bag. But yeah, I'll say good night just now, and I will see you in the morning. Morning folks. Slept really well. The space just here is part of the reason I chose it as the camp. It's a perfectly flat spot. I was more than comfortable. A little bit of warmth from the fire from the first sort of hour or two. Yeah, probably had about 9 hours I think uninterrupted. It was really good. Didn't really rain. I think it rained a little bit at one point, but yeah, not much at all. It was quite windy at times, and it's quite windy this morning too, but the temperature's gone right up. It's about, I think it's about 10 degrees or something just now. It's feeling really mild. I'm not going to hang around. I haven't even brought any breakfast with me. I'm just having a quick coffee. I'm going to let this fire die down and clear up, and then get packed up and then head out. The weather's supposed to be getting pretty bad from kind of 10 o'clock onwards, just really heavy rain and wind. There's weather warnings in place for the rain, so I'm just going to pack up and get out early and avoid the worst of it. If you want to stick around for Forest Thoughts, please do, but if not, then hopefully I will see you in the new year, probably, on the next one. Hi folks, thanks for sticking around for Forest Thoughts. I'm really not going to be long with this one. The rain has literally just started and it's coming in quite heavy. I hadn't planned anything for this video either, but the first thing I wanted to mention was about venison. The two sort of main responses I get when I talk about venison, or I share stuff about venison on, say, Instagram, is that, yeah, one, it's just not available wherever that person is, and it's true. For the amount of deer we have and the impact they have, the venison market is very weak. You know, we need to create that demand. You know, it really can be very closely tied to where you live in terms of what venison is available or what estates you have and that kind of thing. So it's true, but yeah, we need to build demand for that meat. The second thing is it's very expensive, and if you compare it to buying, you know, low quality meat from the supermarket, yeah, it can seem expensive, but you know, if you're buying wild venison, and you know, that's the venison you should be buying, wild venison, farmed venison, like, I think it's just mad that we're even allowed to do that in this country. But anyway, that's another discussion topic. If you're buying wild venison, it's not a farmed animal. You know, someone has to travel out to, usually, you know, quite remote, hard to reach areas, which means 4x4s. You need to, you know, get out onto the hill. You're going to need some kind of like ATV. Both of these things need fuel. If you're the person shooting the deer, you know, you need the skills and equipment to do that. So rifle, ammo, more money, more qualifications. You need to stalk that animal. You need to be able to shoot that animal and actually, you know, have a good enough shot or skill to dispatch it. Then you need to get to the animal. You need to gralach it. You need to get it loaded up. You know, you need to get that animal out of, like I say, some very hard ground to work on a lot of the time. You know, I guess I'm talking more like in a Highland estate, you know, kind of red deer, open hill, not so much, you know, things like roe deer in a woodland environment, but which is still hard work. Can be much harder to find a shot for that kind of animal in a forest environment. But anyway, yeah, back to, you know, you're extracting that carcass. That's if you can get the ATV to it. You could be tying a rope onto this beast and dragging it for quite some distance, again across some pretty hard ground. You get back to the ATV, you have to get all the way back, you have to load the beast into your, you know, into your vehicle, you have to get all the way back to the larder, then it all has to be processed and all that, you know, all that kind of side of it too. So is it expensive? You know, you're talking about some of the healthiest, most sustainable meat that you can get in this country, you know, having a positive impact in terms of, you know, if the objective is genuinely managing deer herds for the benefit of the environment, which is starting to happen more and more. And the venison I got is from Darach, and that's exactly what they're doing. You know, the income from that venison helps to support having a local stalker and larder and these kind of things too. So yeah, is it expensive? I mean, one beast could be, you know, a stalker's his or her, you know, whole day's work. which, you know, and very hard work too. So when you put it in those contexts, and the potential benefit to the environment in terms of protecting trees and restoring nature, I don't think it's expensive. I really don't. So anyway, maybe that's something to consider next time you think buying venison is a bit expensive. And of course, if we create that demand and the market for just normal people, not fancy restaurants and all that kind of stuff, becomes, you know, stronger, then, you know, prices might go down. But anyway, that was a bit more like an old school Highland Woodsman rant rather than a forest thoughts. But the second thing I wanted to mention was, I just wanted to say thank you to anyone who watched or commented or shared or, you know, gave feedback on any of the videos this year. I know my content has been a bit sporadic. I still feel like I don't really know what I'm doing with all this stuff. I feel like I don't really have a structure to the channel. It's a bit like hit and miss every time I put a video out. I really do appreciate people sort of sticking with it. And there's a group out there that consistently watch the videos and give positive feedback. So yes, thank you to those people, and like I say, anyone who's interacted with the channel. At the point of recording this, like I say, we're a couple of weeks from the end of the year. I think I'm about 200 subscribers away from 6,000, which I never thought I would get to. And also another nice milestone is, I think I'm only about 5,000 views away from 500,000 views total on the channel. So for quite a small niche channel talking about trees and deer at the Scottish Highlands, you know, 500,000 views, I'm pretty pleased with that. And that's it for Forest Thoughts. Very quick. Like I say, I didn't really have anything planned, but I just wanted to say something before I wrapped up the year. Yeah, I hope you all have a good sort of festive period, you know, good Christmas and all that kind of stuff, if you celebrate all that kind of thing. Yeah, and all the best for the new year. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed the videos throughout this past year, and hopefully I will see you on the next one.